So we're gonna go ahead and hop right into my surgery journey part 4. If you haven't got the chance to watch 1, 2, and 3, please go in the description box and watch those so you can know like what we've already covered and just where we're picking up from. Okay, so I decided no, I didn't want that additional faja for $160. The two dolls that were also got surgery that same day, they went ahead and got that stage 2 faja that Dr. Bello's nurses were trying to offer me. Come to find out, that wasn't even a stage 2 faja. When you are getting your fajas, you will be able to know which faja is which because of the material of the fajas. They get tighter as you continue to go up in the fajas. Your faja, your stage 1 faja is gonna be it's gonna be tight, but the material is gonna be a lot looser. Your stage 2 faja, at that point, the material is completely different. Later on, we were able to find out from the nurse that was doing our massages at the recovery house that that wasn't an actual stage 2 faja. And plus, once we got home and you go through the process and you're getting more fajas, you'll be able to tell that that wasn't the correct faja. But they went ahead and got it. So we're on our way back to the recovery house. We get to the recovery house. Oh my God, that recovery house was a nightmare. Was a nightmare. So let's get right into it. So I get to the recovery house. Now at this point, I have my tummy tuck, I have my drain in. I can barely stand up straight because when you get a tummy tuck, a lot of times you are bent over. I can barely stand up straight. They have steps that you have to go to get to the bedroom. So, and it's like a good amount of steps. Like it's a flight of steps. And I get upstairs and I go to the room that I originally was at the night before, and they're like, no, you're not in that room. And I'm like, this is what the owners are telling me. They're like, you're not in that room, you're in this room. So they take me to the next room. I'm in pain at this point now. Like the pain has hit me. They take me to the other room, and like I go lay down in the bed where I'm supposed to be at. I go lay down in the bed that I'm supposed to be at, and then maybe 15 minutes later, they come back in there and like, oh no, we're gonna have to actually change your room. When you are getting a tummy tuck, your bed cannot be flat. You're supposed to have a bed that's inclined, meaning it's halfway up, halfway down. That's the bed that I needed because that's what I wound up getting as a tummy tuck. By the way, Bello did not do she wound up having to do the tummy tuck for me, and she did not do like a tummy tuck, like a small tummy tuck. She wound up having to do the whole tummy tuck where it's hip to hip for the incision. I'm going to go ahead and put in pictures of what that incision looks like as well. What it looked like for me. 15 minutes later, they come back and they're like, yeah, this is not going to be the room that you're going to be in either. So I'm like, okay, where are you guys putting me? I'm like in and out. I'm in pain. So I'm like, okay, where are you guys putting me? Because I just want to sleep at this point. So they wound up putting me in a room that was further down. I don't know what happened with why they didn't put me in that room. Later on, I was told it's because the girls that was in that room didn't want me in that room. Why? I have no idea. I didn't even get the chance to talk to them because I never was in that room to begin with. So I don't know why they would say that. I don't even know if that's 100% true, but that's what came out later on during my 10-day stay at the recovery house. So they put me in another room. That room that they put me in, the bed is flat. It's not a bed that's, reclined like I'm supposed to have for a tummy tuck. But at this point, I don't know 100% what's going on because this is the first time I'm having surgery. 2, I never intended to have a tummy tuck, so I didn't even think, that wasn't even the research that I did, so I didn't even know that, oh, you're actually supposed to be in a different type of bed. So they put me in a bed that's just a regular flat bed, and they're putting like a billion gajillion freaking pillows to try to make it where it's, high and then it's low. And I'm just like, okay, let me just sleep because I'm freaking exhausted. I'm in pain now. I did not have any additional pain medicine. Dr. Bello does give you medicine for like blood clots that you have to inject. She gives you different like vitamin C tablets and stuff like that, but she doesn't really give you anything for pain. Again, she wasn't my original doctor. My original doctor was supposed to give me pain medicine when I got to DR. My primary doctor, that's why, again, you need to watch those previous videos. My primary doctor did not give me any pain medicine before I left the United States. So I'm laying down, I'm in the bed, whatever. They're coming, the nurses in the recovery house. I'm sharing it with two other dolls. Those two dolls had already had surgery, and all of us had tummy tucks. There's only one freaking bed that actually had the recline up, recline down in that room. So I'm in the room or whatever. The nurses are coming, they're checking up on me, and I'm kind of in and out because I'm in so much pain. I'm like in and out. I would not suggest you go there without any medication. Like, I don't care if your doctor in DR tells you, yes, I'm going to give you your pain medicine. Make sure you have pain medicine. Make sure you have the correct pain medicine that you're supposed to have for such a major surgery. Because again, remember, if you watch the other videos, I wound up having 2 additional surgeries that I did not pay for that she just wound up doing. So, the first night goes or whatever, and I have on my pressure socks. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the socks that are supposed to, apply pressure on your legs and stuff like that. I have on the socks, and I'm noticing that my feet is extremely swollen, like very much swollen. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I can barely feel my feet. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So the second day, they're like talking to me, and they're like, I'm telling them like, yeah, I can barely feel in my feet. Like, it's so swollen. Is it supposed to be this way? Now there's a language barrier between me and the nurses. So the owners wound up coming in there, and they wound up like asking me like what's going on and stuff like that. And I'm telling them. So they leave, and then they come back, and they're like, so we just talked to your doctor. We just called Dr.Bello and told her what's going on. And she says you need to go see a specialist right now. And I'm like, I'm still in and out of it. And I'm like, I'm in extreme pain. Like, the only way I can describe the pain is as if a tractor trailer ran over my body 10 times. Like, ran over it, reversed, came back 10 times. Like, the pain is excruciating. Like, you are not prepared for this pain. It doesn't matter how many people tell you're not prepared for it. That lipo pain, whew, is no joke. It's no joke. So I'm like, are y'all serious? They're like, yeah, you need to go to a specialist, and you need to go to a specialist right now. We have a driver on the way to come pick you up and take you there. And I'm like, where's the specialist? I'm thinking that it's like at Dr. Bello's clinic. And they're like, no, you have to go to like a hospital out here and go see a specialist. Man, these people took me to the hospital somewhere. I don't even know where the hospital was at. But I'm like so imagine you guys going to like a regular ER hospital somewhere in the United States. It was like that, but it's older. The hospitals are older out there. The equipment is older. So we go to the hospital now. I'm waiting in the waiting area. I'm in so much pain. I can't sit up straight. I can barely walk. I don't know what's going on with my feet. So my feet's extremely swollen. And I'm just sitting in the waiting area, and it's like, are y'all serious right now? Like, do y'all understand the amount of pain I'm in right now? Like, when you first have your surgery, that first, I say maybe 3 days, the pain is so crazy. All you're going to want to do is sleep. That's what most dolls do the first 2 to 3 days. They just sleep because the pain is just so crazy. Me being at the doctor just was like not the right thing. So I wound up having to pay an additional $100 to actually see this specialist. The specialist does, he does like a x-ray on my feet to see if anything's wrong. Come to find out, nothing's wrong. It's just extreme swelling or whatever. And we leave the hospital. So my first day, like where I really should have been resting, I had a whole adventure out in Dominican Republic and somewhere I didn't even freaking know. And it was just like, it was really the worst thing that they probably could have did. I understand they were trying to like protect themselves, and the doctor was trying to make sure that like nothing happened to me, but just the overall experience, especially to come to find out that it was nothing actually wrong and me having to pay extra for it, it was just like, man, that was just like the worst thing they could have did for me at that, just for the amount of pain I was in. Okay. Day 1 and day 2, probably to day 3, I had absolutely no appetite. I didn't want to eat nothing. I had no appetite. I just wanted to sleep because I was in so much pain. The only thing that I would take when the nurses would come and give me my medicine would be the little bottles of Ensure. You need a lot of Ensure. Make sure you get a lot of Ensure. Don't get one or two of the 6 packs. You need probably maybe 3 of those, because you're not gonna have the appetite, and those really do give you a lot of, like, they restore the energy back from what you're losing. So make sure you pack a lot of those. You can't take showers, so you definitely need your wipes. So I was just extremely bloody pretty much day 1 through 3. So day 3 comes. Bello has it set up where with her dolls, where her instructions are, her doll is not supposed to get a massage until after their first week. So we had to clarify, because we had a massage person that was coming to the house and was doing massages for the dolls in that particular recovery house. So me and the other dolls that went to them, we're trying to clarify, like, what exactly is a week? Is it 7 days? Is it 5 days? Like, what exactly does she consider a week? And then she's like, okay, you can do 5 days, but I really want you guys to have massages done at my clinic. But again, my package did not cover the 10 free massages that she gave the other dolls. So I'm like, I need to get a massage. I need to start on these massages, because I keep hearing that the massages is the only thing that's going to make me feel better. And now all the other dolls that are in my room are going to get massages, you know, right after each other. And they're like, oh my God, I feel so much better, da da da. So I'm like, okay, I want to get a massage. Let's start this healing process, even though I'm in extreme pain. So I go day 3 to go get a massage. When I go to get my massage, first of all, the massage is excruciating. I screamed my entire massage. Like, when I say I screamed at the top of my lungs, my entire massage. You have to understand, your body is, first of all, my body was extremely black and blue from everything, because she did my arms. So it was like from here to my knees, it was black and blue. Everywhere was black and blue. Even places she did not actually do surgery was black and blue, because your body is trying to get over the traumatic, you know, stuff that you just put it through. So she's doing my massage. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. But then when she gets to my back to do my massage, she's talking. She calls for one of the other nurses from the recovery house to come in. And they're like both looking at my back. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I call one of the dolls in that, you know, at this point was in my room with me, and she had went to Dr.Bello as well. I call one of those dolls in, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? Do you know what the hell they're saying? Because I don't know what's going on. But apparently something's going on. So I'm like, can you go look at my back and see what's going on? Because they're not telling me anything. So I have this huge black scab on my lower back. It's like maybe this size. I'll try to insert pictures. I'll try to insert as much as I can so you guys can have it. So you guys can see the scar that I had. And the doll, she's like, you have a big black scar on your back. And I'm like, a big black scar on my back? She's like, yeah. So I'm freaking out, because I'm like, they're not telling me nothing. And I'm like, you guys have to tell me what's going on. So the massage lady winds up telling the nurse from the recovery house, she's like, she can't do my massage because I have this scar there. So they wind up telling the owners. The owners calls Dr. Bello. Dr. Bello's like, well, she needs to get back to my office immediately. They take me to Dr. Bello's office. When they take me to Dr. Bello's office, they see the scar, and that I'm in so much pain. It just was the worst thing that could happen for somebody who is in so much freaking pain to have to, first of all, get out of a excruciating massage, walk down these steps again. I can't even stand up straight. Go in the car, go from the car to the clinic, go back to the clinic. Like, it was too much. I shouldn't have been doing all of that for me to just have had the type of surgery I just had. It's like I couldn't even have peace, like, while I was recovering. So she sees the scar, and she's like asking me questions. She's like, is this from your faja? Like, how were you laying? Da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't know where it's from. I'm like, I haven't got the chance to see my back because, again, we couldn't shower. So I'm like, I haven't got the chance to see my back. I'm just going off of what you guys are telling me. So I asked the nurse, I'm like, can you take a picture of it? She takes a picture of it. She shows me, and I'm like, freaking the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck has happened to my back? So Dr. Bello tells me, she's like, well, we need to take your drain out. Child. Again, I'm 3 days post-op, guys. The drain goes, let me see if I can get up so I can show you guys. The drain goes from right here, wraps all the way around to the other side of your waist. It has little inserts inside the actual tube that wraps around your waist that that drains out the fluid. Little tiny inserts, little circles. So she has to now take this out. Again, I have a extreme amount of fluid in me. I'm in so much pain. She pulls out my drain. So from one side to this side, she pulls it out. When I say that was the worst pain I've ever experienced in my lifetime, I screamed to the top of my lungs. I don't think there was a person in that clinic who did not hear me screaming. I screamed to the top of my lungs. It was the most painful because the little inserts that's wrapped around the drain was sucking on my flesh as she was pulling it out. And on top of that, because I have fluid, the fluid is hot. If you girls are post-ops or have round 1, have round 2, you are aware, because once you have your surgery and you have your massages, when your fluid is coming out of you, you'll have to pee a lot, right? And most of the time when you're peeing, it's very hot because you have this hot fluid in you. So while she's pulling it, it's burning as she's pulling it out of my body. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Like, I really honestly wouldn't wish that on my worst. I would never in my life want to experience that again. I'm screaming. She's like, okay, you have to be tough. You have to just take. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand what I'm going through right now. She's like, yes, you just have to be tough. I'm like, no. Like, I'm screaming. I'm gripping on the bed as tightly as I can. Like, they're holding me down. Like, it was crazy amount of pain. She pulls out my drain. Now, again, I'm 3 days post-op. I'm not supposed to have my drain out until probably 15 days post-op. Is day 3. So she pulls out my drain. She's like, okay. She puts some creams on my back. They do some massages on me, and then they send me back to the recovery house. I go back to the recovery house. I'm healing during those days. I'm eating fruit for the most part. For some odd reason, my recovery house didn't have any pineapple juice, which made no sense because that's like one of the main things you need for your swelling. But it didn't have any pineapple juice, whatever. So they were cutting up fruit and stuff like that. The food wasn't good, really. Food was trash. Once I did get an appetite, the food was trash. It wasn't nothing that I would really want to eat. So, yeah, it wasn't good. The good thing is they did have recliners, so I really tried to stay in the recliners, the recliner chairs that were downstairs as much as I could, because you do need to move around. So every day we're going back to Dr.Bello, right? So probably day 5, we go back to Dr. Bello's clinic to go ahead and get massages, because again, the girls, they're checking up on me, but the other 3 girls at this, now it's 3 girls, they all are getting their free massages, but I'm not. So day 5, the nurses inform us that Bello has left. Bello has left and went to New York. And we're like, are you serious? They're like, yeah, she went back to New York. And I'm like, how does your doctor just leave? And she knows she has, now we're just 4 patients in one recovery house. Who knows how many other people she had worked with during that time frame? I'm like, how does she just leave 4 patients that just had major surgery and just goes back to New York? So they're not supposed to be massaging me, but because of my back, they're like putting ointments on my back, putting creams on my back, stuff like that. The nurses, seeing just the level of pain that I'm in, they're giving me massages because they know that that's the only thing that's really gonna comfort me. And I thank God for those nurses that Bello had. Like, I thank God for them. She has one nurse that I don't remember her name. She's a small young lady, really tiny, really, really tiny. If you go to Bello, you meet her and you meet her nurses, there's no way you can miss her. She's like her main primary nurse. And she's a tiny little thing, really small, but she is an angel on earth. Like, she was everything to me and those dolls that were there. She took such great care of us. So, now at this point, the rest of the days, because I stayed out there for 10, we're just going back and forth from Bello's office to the recovery house. The nurse, the massage lady that's there at the recovery house, she's saying that she's not giving me no more massages because she knows that if she continues to give me massages, that Bello's gonna blame the burn mark that she gave me on my back to the masseuse, because apparently that's what they do. Like, if the doctors have done something, they'll try to blame it on, oh, well, you wore your faja wrong, or the masseuse who did your massages, they did something to you, or it was how you laid in your bed in the recovery house. They'll try to blame it on everything but the fact that they did it, basically. So she's refusing to give me any massages. So the only time I'm getting massages is when I'm going to Bello's office, and really they're not even supposed to be giving me the massages. They're just doing it because they just see the amount of pain I'm in. And they probably know it's fucked up that she didn't give me free massages when, if any, out of all 3, none of the other 3 dolls had complications. I'm the only one that had complications. So if anybody needed the massages, I needed the massages. So they're doing the massages. Meanwhile, in the recovery house, there's so much drama. Oh my God. It was so much drama. Not amongst the dolls that were in the recovery house, between the dolls and the owners. So day 5 of post-op, Bello, before she goes to New York, she comes to my recovery house early in the morning. The owners of that particular recovery house, they're dolls as well. They have had plastic surgery as well. Apparently, something was wrong with one of the owners, and she had left her medicine back where she lived at, and she didn't have the correct medicine she needed for something. I don't know. And Bello came to my recovery house and gave her a shot in her back or something like that. My dolls that were in the room right next to her, the other dolls that were in the room right next to her, they seen Bello come in and give her shot early in the morning. So they tell me, they're like, well, did Bello come check on you? Because at this point, everybody knows I have this big ass burn mark on my back. Because I'm the only one that has had complications during my surgery. They're like, did Bello come check on you? I'm like, no, Bello didn't come check on me. They were like, well, she was here earlier today. I'm like, she was here earlier today? They were like, yeah, she was here earlier today. At this point, I have now came back from Bello's clinic to find out that she's went to New York. So I'm like, she was here earlier today and she didn't come check on me? And they're like, no. So the other dogs are now pissed because they're like, how can you be an owner of a recovery house, know that one of your dogs has a huge ass burn mark on her back, had complications during her surgery, you are working with the doctor, you probably, gosh, you probably are getting money to reference this dog to you, because again, remember, they were the ones that suggested me to go to Bello. You're probably getting money for doing that, which come to find out, it wasn't that they were getting money, they were actually getting free surgeries. They were getting free surgeries for referencing her as a doctor. So that's something else to keep in mind, guys. As you're going on this journey, as you're researching, be mindful of the suggestions that you get from people when it comes to these doctors, the reviews. Take it all with a grain of salt, because now that I am post-op and I've had my surgery, I literally am on some of these surgery pages and I could see a dog put something up about a doctor asking about, you know, what was somebody else's experience, or they may have some something they want to say about the doctor. And then I'll look at the comments. In the comments, you know, I can tell at this point who are these people who work for the doctors that are in the comments suggesting them or suggesting their services or fighting for them. Like, no, he was this and that. You know, I can tell at this point, but you guys may not be able to tell. The guys that have, you know, are going on this journey and don't have, you know, any experience.
No paga, no sabe.
Okay.
Ella dice que echa a tirar de 50 dólares. Que de eso, ella nada más quiere un masaje. Y yo no he comunicado con Chatilla. ¿Qué hacemos?
Shit, look at all that shit moving.